Hi everybody, welcome to the film. It's kind of a slow morning out here in the deer blind, um, which is fine, I don't care. Just wanted to talk to you mainly about deer fence, but first I'm going to give you a quick little tour of my deer blind. It's kind of cool. Yeah, so I have, basically it's just insulation. This thing is probably, I don't know, probably 5 feet by, I don't know, 7, 8 feet. I don't think it's quite 8 feet. It's probably like 6 or 7 feet. Anyway, it's not small, but it's not huge either. It's kind of crude. I have windows that slide back and forth. This window and the door was out of my house before it was in my house, I should say, before I remodeled it, and the window was pretty decent shape and small enough for a deer blind, so I kept it. It's not real convenient because if you have to open it, it slides, slides up instead of like all my. Let me turn this camera around. All of my other windows slide side to side, which makes it nice because on colder days you can just barely crack it open, or if I'm running my heater, which is just a side burner off a gas grill. If I'm running that, obviously you got to keep a window or two open, keep it from asphyxiating you, or asphyxiating you, however you say that. Keep it from dying. So then, with my solar panel kit, I got some light bulbs, which they're pretty bright. I don't use them during deer season, but I have used them in the summertime when I have to come out and work on my fencer. That's the reason I put the solar panels in, is because this is my powerhouse for my fencer, for my pasture fence / deer fence. It's sun hasn't really come out yet today, and the battery's still at 12.9. If the fencer was running, it probably wouldn't be that high right now. But yeah, as far as the deer fence goes, so as a deer hunter, the deer hunter in me was a little disappointed that I had to put this deer fence up. Why? Because it worked. And the problem, I put these like strategic openings in. Trying to see, yeah, like right in this area. It's just an opening. Took all the fence down, and then there's one way back in that corner, way back in there. It's where the deer usually crossed anyway, so I didn't put a permanent fence there. I made it so like during deer season I could take the fence down, and it worked. I mean, they do go through there, but there's still a good number of deer that probably won't ever come back here, by their choice, not mine. But yeah, I was kind of hoping that once I shut the power down and basically made the fence unusable for a fence anymore, I thought maybe the deer would come back during deer season. So I mean, it did what I wanted it to do. I had to do it, or else I wouldn't be able to farm for another year. So yeah, I had to do it, and so the deer fence does work. I mean, but if you're putting it around a food plot or something, just kind of, I guess, keep that in mind. That I guess you're gonna want to, around a food plot, you would want to like take all evidence of that fence away, like during deer season. And in this case, it just wasn't feasible to do that. But yeah, the deer would, you could tell the deer that knew it was there, because they wouldn't go within 5 feet of it. I mean, does and fawns, they would go around to the strategic openings. Didn't matter, but you could tell like the bucks that would come through and kind of trolling around, maybe they never saw the fence before. Well, they'd come up to it and see that it was an obstruction, and they'd either go through it or jump over it. They weren't really afraid of it. But so I think that's the biggest key with a deer fence is visibility, and you let them do whatever you can to get them to get zapped a couple times, because they're just like a cow. They go off memory more than anything, I think. So yeah, I think putting peanut butter in aluminum foil and squishing it around the fences, and I did that in spots, I should say. I didn't do it all around, and I think next year I will. And so there's some improvements I'm going to make for next year. it's kind of nice to be able to sit here in the deer blind and see what they did around it. And so I'm gonna make some improvements next year, and hope to bring you guys along for the ride. And I guess thanks for watching the other videos that had to do with building this fence and everything else. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and take her easy.